Alright, I'm working on my 2008 HHR, the 2.2 liter. In it, we're going to be replacing these front brake pads here. And these are in pretty bad shape. I've already got the vehicle lifted up and on blocks just to show you where I lifted at. I just had it lifted up because I've been doing other work on it, but right here I've got some blocks. I got my jack right under about in here, that area, and lifted it on that and set on mine using the impact. But if you don't, you'll want to break your lugs loose prior. Now this, I don't know if it's the original wheel covers, but these just pull off of here, and we're going to get a 19mm and go ahead and get these removed. Right, so we're going to go ahead and zip these off here. Okay, so we got a 14mm ratchet wrench. I'm just going to get back here on these. They're not very tight. Once you break them loose, you can usually just get it the rest of the way by hand. You'll notice how the flat part of this goes against the flat part of that to hold it still. Okay, so we've got this loose. We're going to see if we can't just wiggle it off of here. And the pads, you can see right there. We're just going to set that there. It'll be fine. So we can see the this front one here doesn't look just terrible. I know a lot of times they recommend replacing this hardware, and it's not a bad idea. These appear to be okay. We can see we still got maybe 3/16 on this front. It's not real bad. Let's take a look. We can see that the back is not faring so well. You can see that that's not even 1/8 of an inch right there. And I'm surprised that this tattletale hasn't been making rackets yet. It's just right there. So yes, these are definitely due for a changing. It's not a bad idea to clean these up a little bit where they slide here. We're going to go ahead and get our other pads here, and these, you can see the difference it makes. Definitely see the difference. And we're going to go ahead and just slide that one right back in there, just like that. So a lot of times you can't tell what you got until you get some new ones. Now these don't have the little tattletale thing on there, which really doesn't make much difference because you really shouldn't rely on that to change your pads. This is something that needs to be checked. However, these are difficult to see, you know, without at the very least removing the wheel, and it's kind of hard to even see this back one without removing this caliper. So that's all there is to that. We've got those on there, and we're going to go ahead and take these slide pins out, and usually it'll pop off without too much difficulty. We're going to check these out, and these don't look too bad. Still got lots of grease in there. We'll probably add a little bit more and just stick it back together here. We're going to check that lower one as well. Okay, I went ahead and put some more grease and they just pop right back into place, no problem. Now I'm pushing this piston back since we got the new pads. It's like a huge difference. You could do this in a couple different ways. You got a 10mm screw right here and a bleeder. Crack that open. As you turn this, you can see where I'm located on the piston. and we're just using an O-pad and just pushing that back with that C-clamp. You can put the excess in here, make you a little bottle, Coke bottle, whatever, some little vacuum, 1/8 vacuum line, and put that in there. You know, that's not a bad idea. Or you can simply push it back and come up here, and you may or may not have to take some fluid out of here. For that, you're going to need a syringe or something to take some excess fluid out. Just either way you want to do it, because you can just as easily, if you have one of these, you can just as easily just push it back in there, and it makes pushing the piston back even easier. So anyways, I've gone ahead and pushed it all the way back there, as you can see, and I'm just going to go ahead and take my clamp back off. This has been retightened, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove my bottle here. Okay, so now we're ready to go ahead and just set our caliper back on here. We've got it pushed back plenty far enough that it's going to go on without any issue. Now we're just going to get it. Sometimes you got to push these in to get them to cooperate. And also you have to rotate those flats around to where you need it. It's just difficult to do with one hand here. And so this one up here will rotate like that. So we're just going to get some medium Loctite and put on our bolts, and we'll get them started by hand first. There's our medium Loctite. Okay, just again threading it by hand, and then I'm going to get the bottom one started. Okay, now I'm just threading the bottom one by hand, and you can usually get it most of the way. And then I'll switch over to my ratchet there, and it's up to you if you want to torque these or not. I didn't even bother looking the torque up. I'm just snugging it down. I got it loose with just this little ratchet wrench, no problem. So I would think no more than 20 foot-pounds on this little bolt. You don't want to get carried away with it and mess your pins up. Okay, so there we are. Alright, so now we're ready to go ahead and just get our wheel back on here. Okay, so we're just going ahead and tighten these like 100 foot-pounds. Just give it a good couple clicks. And now we're ready just to go ahead and pop our cover back on here. And we just gotta make sure a little valve stem gets lined up. So there we are. Alright, so that's going to do it for placing these front brake pads. A very simple project. Definitely something that needed to be done on this one, and I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, please give it a like. As always, I invite you to subscribe. Thank you for watching.